In 2015, McKinsey Global Institute published a series of tables that ranked sectors of the economy according to a digitization index. And it's no surprise, but healthcare ranked at the bottom, or the bottom quartile of that list in terms of its overall digitization. So if you're watching here on the video, you can see we have a table and there's, maybe 15 or 20 different sectors of the economy listed. And we see fourth from the bottom, we have healthcare. And then worse than it is hospitality, construction, and agricultural and hunting. And this is in terms of overall digitization. And then what you can see further is that the way that McKinsey kind of figured out this rather qualitative assessment of digitization, and so red indicates lower digitization and green indicates higher digitization, is they looked at three different areas: assets, usage, and labor. And then if you look on the blog post associated with this, you can see more detailed breakdowns of the assets on how they looked at investments in hardware, software, and equipment, which were for digital assets in each of these sectors. You can see healthcare down here, reasonably low levels of investment in digital technology compared to all the areas above it. So media, internet communications, professional services, finance, wholesale, utilities, manufacturing, personal services, government, real estate, etc. You also can see the breakdown based on usage of digital technology in its transactions, interactions, business processing, and marketing, as well as you can see the labor. And you can see here, for instance, that healthcare has rather low levels of investment in digital technology for its workforce, both in terms of per capita spending and the use of digital technologies among their health employees. And then we also see that a similar type of breakdown was published for Europe. And so if you, this was done in 2016, also by McKinsey, and similar to the US table, we see healthcare ranked, again, now it's fifth from the bottom of the list in terms of its overall digitization, and then the similar categories and metrics were used to rank it. You can also see that a table was published looking at individual countries in Europe compared to the United States. And we see, of course, countries like the United Kingdom and France also having very low levels of digitization. And the other countries, Germany, Netherlands, Italy, Sweden, also having, lower levels of digitization relative to the other parts of their economy. So, what does all this mean? One thing which we should consider is if we go back to the very first table, that on the far right, we can see a column entitled Productivity Growth from 2005 to 2014. And in the previous article I posted, there was indication that the growth of productivity in healthcare is among the lowest of all sectors in the economy. And we can see in this digitization index graphic that in general, those sectors of the economy that have higher productivity growth generally have higher levels of digitization. And in general, those areas of the sector which had lower or even negative productivity growth have lower levels of digitization. And so perhaps one explanation for healthcare's low productivity growth over the last decade is our low digitization. And in a world where the fax machine has become the norm, and it's no surprise that healthcare's digitization index is low, I think bringing good information technology and digitization of healthcare is one of the ways which will be able to curtail the rising increase in annual costs of delivering healthcare. And then in addition to improving productivity and cost control, I'm optimistic that it should also improve quality as well as the general experience of patients and clinicians. So just another interesting set of tables to share with you.